Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Me, Her, and Everything Else. My name is Stephanie Coker Aderinokun. And yes, this is another wonderful episode. My guest today is actually a guy. I don't know why I'm finding this so funny, but yeah, this is the first guy that we've had on the show, right? Noble Igwe. Yo!
I'm the first guy.
You are the first guy, my man.
What do I get?
And you are obviously one of the most fashionable men in Nigeria, number one.
Thank you.
You are a fashionista, you are an entrepreneur, and you are a father. You are also a husband, but let's just say you are a father. Because you know when some people call a father, it's just like, oh yeah, my father. But you are a true definition of a father. And
thank you.
That's really what we want to talk to you about today.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So everybody knows you on Instagram and on Twitter. You know, you're very opinionated, and I know you're always very, very active or vocal around Big Brother.
I'm active and vocal in everything that I feel passionate about.
Yes, but that Big Brother, it's like I get updates from you.
I need to switch then. I need to talk more about going to church or the things that you do as a Christian.
Don't worry. That's just on Twitter. But on Instagram, literally, it's all about your kids. All about your two girls.
Yes, Jasmine and Eliana.
Jasmine and Eliana. You have nicknames for them as well.
Yeah, so I call Jasmine Beans and I call Eliana Poppins. So
that is so cute.
Eliana Beans, just because I just sort of felt comfortable with that. Eliana Poppin or Ellie Poppin or Poppins is from Ellie Poppin. Then when I want to be funny with that, I can call her Poppin Nwa. Like it's an Igbo thing, like his pet name in Igbo, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yes. That is super cute. Yo, this is so refreshing because we're in Nigeria.
Yes.
If you guys don't know, we're in Nigeria. Nigeria is a place where men are not seen as father figures, they're seen as breadwinners. So when you're talking about a man, you don't really say, okay, he's a great father.
Yeah.
Women and kids tend to say, oh yeah, my dad was around, he used to buy us this, he used to maybe take us to a couple of trips or whatever. But really when children want to talk about their parents, they really focus on their mothers. Even though that's kind of like the story all over the world. Yeah. But in Nigeria, the man is really seen as, the one that goes out to hunt,
look for money, then
look for money and all those things. And if he's not, it's almost like his wife has turned him to a handbag, which is a stereotype which is changing with people like you because you're still working. Yeah. You still get your stuff done.
Actually.
Yes, you're working even harder.
Yeah.
And you do school runs, which is crazy.
Every day. I do school runs every day.
Every day. You said that you do 90% of school runs.
Yeah, just because my wife is very busy and I have to accommodate all the things. I wouldn't want to think that we'll share responsibilities. We never sat down to say you would do school runs or you wouldn't do school runs. I just realized that I'm the one with the more flexible job and I had to pull my weight. So I do school runs and I started doing school runs way before now. I used to do 2 schools in one day. So my last child was at the crèche and my oldest child was in a preschool. So I used to drop my older child at 7:30 in the morning, then come back home, then drop my youngest at 9 in the morning. Then I pick the older child at 2 p.m. Then I wait at home until 5 p.m. to pick the younger child.
Yeah, this sounds like mother's for like the day of a mother, life in a mother. And you know what? It's crazy because you also, you help birth these children. So why is it that it's always, seen to be the mom's role? There was this TikTok once I saw that people were saying this is so wrong. Like I think a woman said to her husband, oh, thank you, or something like that. And people are like, why are you thanking him for babysitting his own kids? That's not babysitting. That's looking after your own children. Yeah, exactly.
So also, if for me and for my family, in our house, I don't expect Choma to say thank you to me for doing what I ought to do or for pulling up in the way that I pull up for everything that has to do with the kids. And it's just because I grew up in a home where the father isn't meant to do all these things. So my father was a businessman, my mom was a businesswoman, and my father never really visited us in the hospital when you were ill. So he just come and he goes. But I could tell that he loved us. So he made sure that we attended the best schools. We had cars when we were in the university, but he was never really involved in the way maybe I would have loved for him to be involved. And so when I got married and when we started having kids, I decided on my own that I want to be more than just a symbol of fatherhood in the house. I decided I want to be a lot more involved, and I went out of my way to learn how to do things. I told people that when they gave birth to my first child, Jasmine, Choma was still going through the pains of a CS. And when I fed her the first time, and that continued, I learned how to swaddle. I learned how to do the different things.
Yeah, you learned how to swaddle.
Yeah, I swaddle better than Choma. I swaddle I swaddle.
How did you learn how to swaddle? I'm interested. Was it on YouTube?
How the nurses come to the room to teach you what to do, and I learned. One moment when the kids start crying, I learned how to swaddle, put this hand here, put it all together. Then when I have the second child, I was already an expert at that point in time. I have stayed home,
Wait, but there's men out here that don't even know how to change Pampers.
I know how to change diapers. I know how to clean. I know how to wipe. You know how you wipe from front to back, every single thing. I know those whole thing. I know how to also, when you take the diapers, how you cover the diaper so you cannot use or what I call it again, how you stick, how you use
the two sides.
Yeah, exactly. So when you take it up, how you, if it's a poo or a pee, how you cover it up, then roll it, then use the whatever to cover it to make sure before you bin it. I know how to use the diaper bag. I know everything.
I think you even might know more than me.
I know how to feed kids. I also know how you get them to bop. How you hold them after feeding them. Because a lot of people don't know that when you finish feeding a child, you don't put them to bed instantly. So you take them up, put them up. But sometimes you rub their bag until they bop. When they bop, the excess gas is out of their system before you put them down. So I know.
When you describe all of this, do you talk like this with your male friends?
For people who are interested in learning what to do with the kids,
So has anyone ever kind of made fun of you for being such a hands-on dad?
No, nobody has ever, because I also try as much as possible to work hard, so that way it does not for any reason. But so when people don't think that I'm paying attention to the kids when I'm not paying attention to my work, so that way I make sure that I balance everything out. But the thing is, I also wanted to have a better relationship with my kids. So I didn't want to give that to anyone. I wanted to be very, very, very in their lives. So I've learned the different things. Choma, I don't know if Choma has any nickname for any of the kids, but sometimes you go call her by her real name. When I say Pops, sometimes it went from Poppins to Pop. So right now it's Pops. And she goes yes, Daddy. So do you
think your wife is jealous a bit?
So I don't think she's jealous, but sometimes I kind of feel I think she's happy that I have those things with the girls. I think, sometimes the girls come to our room and they were oh, Daddy, let's go downstairs. So they hardly have asked her to go downstairs with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because mothers, so they will not show you that they're jealous.
So she'll just be leave me alone or that kind of thing. Because she's always busy. So sometimes, most of them go to downstairs to watch TV. I know their favorite shows. So Jasmine went from there's a TV show called Simon on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, from Simon to Barbie. Then Eliana went from Minnie Mouse to liking Peppa Pig and Paw Patrol and every single thing.
Yeah, the details in this, it's even mothers. I don't think a lot of mothers know.
No. Yes, sometimes you just have to pay attention and you know what your kids like. Their favorite color. Jasmine used to have green as a favorite color, but right now she has blue as her favorite color. Elena's favorite color is pink. It went from moved from pink to purple. So you need to understand what they like. So when you're buying things, you also have to buy according to what they think they will gravitate towards.
You know what? You see, everything you're saying, right? It's even bad for me to sit here and be so surprised, because at the end of the day, no, we're not. Parenting isn't gender specific. It shouldn't really be, but it's just the society and the socialization of everything. We're all socialized, to be mothers to be nurturing and to always be there for the kids, and fathers to go out and just be out and come back and maybe spend 20 minutes with the kids or an hour and then say, okay, see you tomorrow, go back to your mother. So what you're doing is actually, as we've said earlier, is your job.
It's my responsibility.
It's actually your responsibility to do it. But because a lot of men don't actually see it as their responsibility. And during counseling, what's not counseling, what's this thing now? Church premarital counseling. I remember the teacher was actually saying that, a child is a man's responsibility because that's the man's child, right? Mm-hmm. That's why it bears a surname or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The woman is there to help you. She's not actually there as the sort okay, this is her responsibility. No, it's actually your responsibility, and she's there as a helper. So, but the way it is in real life is it's the woman's responsibility. You never hear, we do, but it's very rare of women, leaving their child and going. But men, there's so many deadbeat dads that leave their child. You always know what happens during Father's Day. Oh, the women come out and start saying, Well, happy Father's Day to me,
Yeah,
you
I know. But I also want to feel like that there must be fathers out there who are also very involved. I kind of also feel like a lot of things have changed. I want to believe that fathers like me, or I want to use that term like me, who are also involved in their kids' life, just because it makes more sense that way. Just because it's a lot more. It is a lot more interesting when you know every single aspect of your daughter's, like, or your kids' life. You know what they do, what they get up to. When, like, you know, when they get better at riding bicycles. Like, you know, I have stories for this. Like, I have a lot of stories for this. When any of the kids is ill, you don't have to ask who's going to sleep in the hospital, because automatically that's me. So I'm the one.
But why is it automatically you?
Because that's what I want to do. Because I want to be involved. Like, you know, I remember one time when my daughter was ill, and so we took her to the hospital. They said they have to do an X-ray, but for her to do an X-ray, they have to put her in an ambulance, take her to the. So I was not crying. Like, how would they? Like, why would they put my daughter in an ambulance? Like, you know, can't I just drive her to like, you know, go get the X-ray and everything? When, like, any of my child is ill, I'm the one who will miss my meal because I'm worried. Like, you know, when are they going to get better? Are they going to get better? I'm the one who spend more time, you know, worrying about them. But I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm too soft. I don't know.
No, I think, you know what? I think you're just an exemplary father, because this is actually, it's not, because this is how a woman feels. This is how mothers feel as well. And there's no reason why a man should not also feel like this. But it also goes back to the fact that, you know, men aren't really taught to show their emotions as well. So that's also one of the issues and reasons why we don't really have great fathers or as many great fathers as we should, because a lot of men cage or hide their feelings. So if they're supposed to show their daughter that, oh, okay, you know, oh, I'm worried about you, they'll probably be like, okay, let me pretend to be strong for her. They think they need to be strong or show you that they're strong, but really sometimes they just need to be vulnerable to show that they even care.
I get what you mean. Like I was telling Choma a few days ago that when it comes to my kids, I don't need to be told that they love me. So my first daughter could be walking past me and she'll just use her hands to brush my hands. I kind of feel like that's so cute. Like, you know, she doesn't have to say anything. Like, so this is me sitting on a chair and she's walking by. She just gradually brush my hands while she walks to the kitchen. Or maybe sometimes when I come home, I'm like, I'm hungry. She would drop everything that she's doing to go to the kitchen to tell them that daddy is hungry, or to get daddy what do you want to eat and all the rest of them. So I find that so special. So I wouldn't want to lose that. I wouldn't want to share that moment with anyone. So I try as much as possible to be there for them. You know, when I started writing my diary, was also for me to write about the things and how I have what I've learned from parenting. So take from my family, for example, like Choma is the one who will spank. I don't spank my kids. I like to have conversations with them. But like, you know, somebody does anything.
And you said your wife is not jealous. She's definitely going to be. She has to come here. I will see her for you. I will see her for all of you in the house.
So I love having conversations because also, like, you know, how you feel like, you know, I've also realized that kids should be able to have emotions. Some kids should be like, so what they do, like they do, then they now put their hands together and then look in the other direction. So I like to ask, what is the problem? What do you think we can do better? So, you know, and also sometimes when we do something that's wrong, I also make sure that we apologize. Like there was this day, Jasmine wanted to see a movie and Choma has asked her not to see a particular movie and Choma thought she was seeing the movie. So Choma shouted and I realized 2 days later that it was a wrong movie. So I have to ask Choma to call Jasmine to apologize for being wrong 2 days ago. Yeah. And make sure that it's not like, Jasmine, I'm sorry. No, Jax, I'm sorry that I thought we were watching the movie that I asked not to watch. And for that, I'm very sorry. So we try to have that relationship with the kids.
Yeah, and accountability.
Exactly. So that everybody, like, you know, so the kids know that they're not supposed, they can't lie in the house. If you break something, come to daddy and say, I broke a plate and I'm sorry. So there can never be a situation whereby a plate is broken and they say, I don't know who broke it. And even as an adult, we also have to show responsibility. You know, try as much as not to lie. They can't say daddy why. And I'd be like, oh, because why has a long tail and 2 branches. They don't do that. So you have to explain every single thing. And I have to learn on the job. I didn't grow up that way. I had to make an effort on how can we be better at parenting. You know, I had to also be able to like listen to the kids speak to us. So like we don't shout, we don't do all those things. You know? If you want to scold like a nanny or something, make sure you do it not in front of the kids, but where the kids are not. So that way the kids also know that Chama handles the aspect of how to refer to the nannies as Miss Lamy, Miss Dami, so that you also know who the family members are, know who the aunties and the uncles are, Mr. Obi, know every single thing. So she handles that aspect of the life. So I make sure that I get involved in the other aspects. So we didn't sit down to say this is what you would do or this is what you wouldn't do. But once I realized that my wife would be too busy with work, I knew that I needed to step up, and not just step up, but step up a lot more and do a lot more.
Yeah, no, this is very inspiring, and I'm sure, a lot of women that are that have, I don't know if I should call them baby fathers, but yes, because a lot of women that have children and they're not married to these men, right? When these kids grow up, they start having this thing called daddy issues, right?
Yeah.
And just by listening to what you're saying, you don't have to actually live with the child. I mean, it is obviously a better situation, but you don't have to actually live with the child
to be involved.
To be involved.
Yes.
There are certain things you can do. So if you're not in a relationship, you can do school runs.
Yeah, you can do school runs. If you have to drop them in the morning, you can bring speak in the evening, afternoon. Yeah,
exactly. Because
take them swimming, the different things.
Yes. Taking them out, spending quality time with them. Words of affirmation. Also, correcting them when they're wrong, and also that whole accountability thing. Because what's happening in society now, I'm just looking at all the things you're saying, right? And a lot of women didn't grow up with this type of. Even you yourself, I'm sure
I didn't grow up
with it, right? But it's quite it's giving hope. Because if there are men like you, which I hope to believe there are, like my husband, I mean, he can learn from you, Shao, but he's doing well. Yeah. But if women can continue the way they're doing, being mothers, nurturing, and more men can be like this, we'll end up with a better society full of humans, because they would have been shown that love that's important, not the love that comes from money or the love that comes from flying first class or buying nice things.
The love of being present.
Yes,
because it's important. It's funny that I have to say this, but sometimes how people get older, and once you get older, you keep getting older, you get older and older and older, maybe 90, then
till you die.
Then you die. So sometimes I sort of feel like I don't really want to get old too fast, because I don't know how my kids will feel when I'm no longer there. So I think about, I don't know if that's a good feeling, but you think about worry about, are they going to be okay? Can they because I know that we love each other, and I know I want to be sure that they'll be okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think about that all the time, and making sure that I give them every single thing that sort of build a huge memory for them, that even with so many life left in the future, that they will always be there. And my wife always go Chima always go I'm the daddy who comes when somebody comes into the room, I go take them upstairs, wear them tight, because I'm the daddy who goes sit properly, but you're protective. So, I do all those things. Do all those things. When we go for birthday parties, you can't wear skirts, or you have to wear trousers or anything. I'm that dad. I'm the dad who said you have to wear a singlet, be inside of your clothing. So I'm very... You're very protective.
Yeah. But it's good because we live in the world we live in now is very scary.
So we have conversations and the rest of them. Also, yesterday I told them something new. I read on Twitter where someone was challenged to do something, to swallow pins or whatever. But I had a conversation with my girls yesterday when I told them, if anybody challenges on anything, tell them they've won. There's no need. If somebody say to you, Jasmine, I know you cannot jump the fence, say it's okay, you've won. I don't want them to come home listen, there's no competition out there.
Yeah.
And that's something I told them yesterday. So this morning when I was taking them to school.
So sorry, but every day, do you just drop nuggets? Do you just give them words?
Almost every day I find something. So yesterday we did presentation. So I just realized that in school, these kids present in classes, but sometimes you need to also build their confidence. So what I do, sometimes I invite friends over and have them present to us, so that when they get older, it's a lot easier for them to speak in front of older people without feeling some type of way.
Yeah, no, but you're very intentional in your parenting. You know that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's another thing as well.
Yes, I'm very intentional.
I don't even women, I don't think they're this intentional. And it's a good thing, because we can all learn from each other. Parenting there's no manual. I mean, there are manuals.
Yeah, and I try to do this also, staying stylish, doing my parties.
Yeah, because you're doing so much.
Doing my events.
Before you got married, you were, that guy with the style, with the hat.
Yeah.
Everybody knew you as, like a cool, young
I
bachelor.
remember, yeah.
And then you transformed after that beautiful wedding. Wait, hold on. Did you arrive to your wedding in a helium balloon or what?
So my wife came in a helium balloon, but before then we also had a crane. Like, you know how we had... So the idea for me was for us to enter the reception hall with all of the lights, Kanye West. Like, you know, so like... Dun, 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 dun,
you are
like,
so
you know, that kind of
dramatic.
thing.
I
so
love
that whole
it.
idea was like, you know, so the crane takes us up under the spotlights on us. And the crane brings us all the way down and we're walking.
Yeah, so how do you go from that to like basically father of the year?
But that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sort of intentional about everything. And like I told someone, this year I want to do everything that I've thought about that is possible creatively. Like, you know, every other thing I've thought about that I could do. I want to be able to do that this year. Photo exhibition, art exhibition. I'm starting a club on Saturday for my kids. It's called Come Read With Me.
Wow,
so it's just me and
amazing.
Eliana. So every month we'll call friends together between the ages of 3 to 10 to come read with them.
Ariella and the
exactly. You know, so they that kind of thing.
Yes,
so they'll come and read. So that when they get older, I can hand that over to them so they can also invite younger kids to come read.
See, so another thing here is that, you know, earlier I said something about handbag, you know, in Nigeria, when once a man is, you know, allowing his wife go out to work or to do anything, it's almost like, you know, they'll start the older generation will be like, yes, she has turned him to a handbag. Why is he the one doing this? Why is he the one cooking the food? Why is he looking after the children? But guess what? You're still doing your thing.
I'm doing everything.
Women have been doing this since the beginning of time. We've been juggling things. Yeah. So why can't a man juggle as well?
And I also tell my wife, I don't want my wife to ever look back and feel like there's something she wanted to do that she didn't get to do.
Yeah, because she'll resent you.
Yeah. I don't want her to ever feel like she could have been bigger than she is. Like today she manages like a brand that's beyond Lagos, like beyond Nigeria. There's Ghana, there's different countries. And I'm proud of her. And I tell people anybody who cares, I don't know how much she got paid every month. I don't know how much her salary is. I'm an able man to that level.
Come on. Hey.
I don't know how much she gets paid.
Don't care.
I don't care.
Your money is your money.
Exactly.
My money is our money.
So I try to make sure that she would put everything humanly possible in her work.
And this is the thing, right? So a lot of time, women, you know, they have supportive husbands, right? But that support is there. So they'll support you, like support your career and everything. But once it interferes with anything and now it seems like they have to bend, like, okay, your job is now affecting school runs, for example. It's now like, I can't be as supportive because do you expect me to start picking up the child?
No, about 2 weeks ago, Choma went to Ghana. She was in Ghana on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. She came back on Saturday and told me on her way back she was going to take the kids to the salon to get her hair done, right? But she came back Saturday morning and she slept. When it was 4 p.m., I had to take the kids to the salon. And I took them to get their hair done. Then I brought them back when she was still sleeping. The following day was Sunday. She said, she needed to sleep more. I took the kids to church. We went to church and we came back. And
Chioma is just she's just lucky sports.
She says all the time. She said I introduced her to the soft life.
Yeah, so this is real. Any other soft life is a fraud. This is the real soft life.
But I'm happy doing that, and I know that she appreciates that. She does not need to say thank you anything, but she knows that I will step up to everything humanly possible and also create time for her. So it's not like I'm not creating time just for the kids. I'm also creating time for my wife. I'm creating time for my job. So making sure that at every point in time, I create time to work, take care of the kids, take care of the wife, but also create time to rest. So at the end of the day, we will have a very, very fulfilled life.
Yeah. Wow. No, I'm blown away because at the end of the day, as I said, women have been doing this. Women, you know, and the thing is, I was actually watching. Have you watched this is off topic, but have you watched Dirty Betty?
Yes.
You've watched Dirty Betty?
Yeah. But women have been doing this for the longest time. And also stay the breadwinner of the family. Yes.
So now look at this. Women, if you haven't watched Dirty Betty, right? So Dirty Betty is basically it's a real story. This girl, she met her husband when she was very young. He had this whole dream of becoming a doctor. He didn't do that. She supported him and she kept having babies. So she ended up having like 4 children. She had 2 miscarriages or so. And then he went on to be a successful lawyer and she held the house down. You know, she didn't fulfill any of her dreams. Yeah. And then she started feeling like he was cheating on her, having an affair with his secretary. And then he kept denying it. And turns out he was actually having an affair. Yeah. And then she ends up going to, and she spoiler alert, she shoots both of them and kills them. And she says they deserved it, right? So now, looking at that, I'm like, this woman gave everything. She let go of her own dreams for this man. And then he went and did, that to her, whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, women don't do that to men. Women don't tend to, you don't hear stories of, okay, a successful woman and then she now goes and dumps the man. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be that story. I mean, both of us don't really have to give up. It's all about balance. And when you get married. It's finding the balance, yeah. And when you get married, one of the problems is that people are going into relationships and marriages not discussing or understanding what the other partner is willing to do or compromise on. You are obviously open and willing to be a great father 360. So you're willing to do all of it and still continue with and chase your dreams.
Yeah,
and
I still play up table tennis, by the way.
Yeah.
Every evening.
And your wife is still a great mother, but she has someone that is very supportive and she's still also chasing her dreams. Yeah. So it doesn't really mean you have to end up resenting her. No. Or she has to end up resenting you. No, but finding that balance is very important. And also, just taking time in everything you do, because sometimes we rush things. You rush and you have kids and you now start looking around. Everybody else, maybe they're in their family nuclear home where they have a child and they have I'm not saying, things happen, but we need to think beyond just aesthetics. Ourselves and aesthetics. Yeah. Or like had seen children as like handbags. You need a father involved. You need a mother involved, whether you're together or not. Think about the person you're lying down with and sleeping with and creating children.
It's very important.
Because you end up with broken children.
Because the kids are always the ones that suffer.
Exactly. And why would I look at a family like this? Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs on any family, but why would you see something like this and then opt for something else? Like it's like you're doing yourself a disservice.
Because what happens sometimes is that people don't know, like you mentioned earlier on about compromise, something have got to give. Mm-hmm. And also it was also important to me, like you mentioned about me being like the boy around town. So I also want to believe that at an early age or stage, I did everything I needed to do. So it was easy also for me to say, listen, man, I need to focus and build a life with these kids. I need to focus. I know there's and it also involved. I used to tell someone that at some point, I have to also make sure that we create friendship with people who also have kids, who want to do kiddie things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that way, Christmas is not just the parents' party. Christmas night involves going to parks, doing everything they have to do in the evening, from the afternoon to evening, so that at 8 p.m. you can go out with your wife or your spouses or any for your friends. But the kids are also part of the celebrations. They are not involved.
Yeah.
Do you get? So it's only then you can understand that how important birthdays are. The people your kids want around themselves. Like if you ask Jasmine, who do you want at your birthday? She will say Ayodeji. Who again? I have names that she mentioned earlier. So, but you have to be there to understand the people that they like in their corner.
Yeah.
And they have to now make sure that you also introduce conversations that happen to be, so that somebody comes to the house, so Jasmine can say, good evening, Kaima's daddy. Because she does not just know people by their names, she also know their kids.
Right.
Yeah. So you can create the kind of friendship that you want to have.
And incorporate your children.
Exactly. And it's very important. So that way they're not missing out and you don't feel like you're missing out anything.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could, oh my gosh, because some people, they end up on these play dates that they don't want to be on.
Exactly.
Then, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you don't really like the kids' father or mom or anything. But you can have it work for you. So that way everybody can have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always a solution to everything, I think. But you have to be, the thing is, something has to give, and you also have to be intentional. And another thing is that everything can't really work at the same time. So sometimes, something it's like a pendulum. It can't swing. Yeah, it swings like this. So sometimes, now if you get like maybe you start some business now, right? And it prevents you from doing the school runs from Monday to Wednesday. Yeah. That means from Wednesday to Friday, you're doing what your school runs. It's that compromise.
And Choma will also understand. So she will know that you're not doing it just because
you don't want to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to show the things that you have interest in. Yeah. You have to show that you are willing to carry everyone. You have to show that you want to be present. And sometimes make out time to do family things. I kind of feel like it's important. That's the reason why I feel like the home is very important. We have to try as much as possible to make sure we keep our home together. We have to make sure that people see love in the home. We have to make sure that kids know that they're loved. They don't have to think or imagine. They have to know
Yeah, and as I said, it's just this whole thing, because we all have like help and nannies and things, but it is very important to show kids that you love them by spending time with them.
Yeah.
Because and another thing is when I used to observe before I became a mother in Nigeria, you don't see children out. Like abroad,
that's what I was saying to you, because everybody wants to lock up their kids and just do adult things.
Yeah, like even at restaurants, there's a couple of restaurants that have high chairs, but abroad, a lot of restaurants have high chairs. It's like
in Nigeria, listen, I can tell you free of charge, most of the restaurants in Nigeria don't have plans for kids.
No, they don't. It's only one that's high chair, and the high chair is not even comfortable. Exactly. You don't even want to sit on it.
So you see, that's it. So because also that's another thing. The society is also not helping. The society needs to...
It's breeding Sodom and Gomorrah as opposed to... Yeah, honestly. Because the thing is, we have, not to digress, but we have strip clubs opposite primary schools. Yes. Like, what are we doing here?
We have one opposite a mosque. Or like almost,
we even have one opposite a mosque.
Yeah.
I mean...
And we have another one that is moving from where it is on Fellowship to opposite a banner that is almost like a family store.
Yeah, but yes, which is so here we are. So that's what I'm saying. What you represent is so important, because you even said that you were telling me before we started recording about the people that greet you at Ebano. We're like, oh, where are your kids? How are your kids?
Everybody. Most people that know me with my kids. So most of the
they don't know you with side chicks. Even if you have side chicks, not that they know you with side chicks. They know you with your children. They don't know my kids.
So when I go to Ebano, they always go like, "Oh, how are your daughters?" or anything. When you go to random places, church and every church has one way. You go to church, adult church, after church service. Everybody know that I will be in the kids section to pick the kids with or without trauma.
Yes. Didn't you just get receiving an award?
Yeah, so what happened was how they had a PT in school and they nominated me for two things. So they nominated me for the pre-school father or something and just two other things. Like, it makes me feel special in such a way that I'm not doing any of these things to be recognized, but people see that I'm putting like effort, I'm being there. For my case, I've gone for a whole lot of PTAs, I've gotten a whole lot of assessment. I'm always cheering them up, and it makes me feel sort of happy also when we go to get feedback from school and the teachers let me know that the kids love their daddy.
Yeah,
they're always like
that must be very fulfilling.
Yeah, they say that all the time. Like the kids love daddy, and most of the things I say in the house every day is don't run downstairs. So when they hear that this voice, they're like, "Daddy," I'm like, "Do not run. Like, I'll be here downstairs waiting for you. So walk slowly until you come, then you can jump." Then I'll take you up, then I'll hug you tight, then I'll rub your back, then I'll put you down. Then Eliana will also do the same. Then I'll rub her back, then I'll put her down.
Chomo! See, this your wife, she's going to show you people what. She's got her own plan, trust me. Maybe she's going to have another child. She'll have a boy.
She wants to have a boy. Like, I mentioned that. She said she wants to have a boy. For me, people say because I'm Igbo, like, maybe I should care. But to be honest, I really, like, I told Chama, like, babes, listen, do you really want us to go through this process again? But the process of, we have kids now, we can tell, fetch me my phone.
Yeah.
And they will go out. The master bedroom is 2 floors up. And they can go 2 floors. They know mommy's phone, they know that it's phone. Now I have to go through that process of like, like taking
waiting. Come on. Well, I know you enjoy that part, but you now
go through that a lot. Right? Like, trying to be, are you running a fever? Now the girls walk up to you to say, "Daddy, I kind of feel like I'm coming down with something," and it's a conversation. But before they
you're not trying to decipher.
Do guesswork. Say, because she running temperature. We should not eating. But she have sore throat.
But that boy, I'm sure she wants another child. She's going to you people. She says
it all the time.
But you know what? I people are actually, and you're an Igbo man. It's like so important in the Igbo community to have a boy. I
kind of feel like if I have a boy, I'm still gonna win him over. Like, I'm not.
You don't get selfish.
Yeah, like I'm gonna win him over as well. Like, I'm just gonna be there. They make sure. But in our room, so we have in our house, we have a room that's empty that the girls refer to as their brother's room.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at it as your next prized possession.
I'm not like, but the thing is, but I'm having a great time. And my wife is an amazing woman.
Yeah, and, she is.
She has an amazing job. She's doing her job very well. She's going up in her career. And I'm happy that I'm here to support her in every single way that I can. And I'm also happy that I get to spend a lot more time with the kids. Like, it's fun. It's
on
fun.
that
Like,
note.
they know, okay.
See, I just want to. Because see, and you know what it is that everything you've said today doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't take anything away from your masculinity.
No.
It doesn't take anything away from Noble. Igwe,
the slush kids, the style, the fashion, the event, the parties. I still do everything.
You still do everything.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Men, you don't. It doesn't take anything away from you to be a great husband, a good father, or to be helpful or supportive. Nobody is a saint. Nobody is saying, this man, he's like, number one father of the year. Like everybody can be that in their own right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not until you dash your kids money and then you walk out and then you go and do Faji at night, and then you come back in the morning and say, hello, good morning. That's it. No, literally be intentional about your parenting as fathers, because women are not babysitters. We are not babysitting, and it's actually not, it's 50-50.
Yes.
You know how it's not that, it's on our head. We should be carrying the child 24/7.
Yes.
I mean, we carried the kids for 9 months.
And that's, Choma tells me that sometimes, yeah. Like when we fly, she goes like, this is your time. I carried her for 9 months. I'm like, okay.
That's it. So, let's be sharing. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Steph, for having me.
Oh my gosh, it was so insightful. And I'm sure a lot of women are going to go and talk to the husband and be like, yo, you see, does he have 2 heads? Does he have 2 heads? No, seriously, you're a great example in society. Much. And all the best on everything. And my love to your 2 princesses.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see this book club and hopefully read as well.
Yes. Can you read Yoruba?
Can you read Yoruba?
I
can read Yoruba. Okay. Tell me to say. Do you know? Let's quickly do, because I know you people used to think that I can't.
What's mouth in Yoruba?
Huh?
What's mouth in Yoruba?
Oh, enu.
Okay. Nose.
Emu.
Eyes.
Oju.
Ears.
It's here. Like here, like
the tongue. Okay, so because in most cases when you sort of teach kids from that age upwards, it's more of the 5 senses, like start with that, like the touch, the hearing, the see, the taste.
Well, I'm happy I'm proficient in my language. Yes. Yeah, is it proficient? Anyway, yes, you know what I mean. But thank you so much, Noble. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next time.